Judge laughs at Elon Musk in court, then gets stunned by his legal genius. It was supposed to be a routine hearing, just another day in the legal world where billionaires battled regulatory agencies, disgruntled investors, and corporate rivals. But no one in that courtroom expected the spectacle that was about to unfold when Elon Musk himself took the stand. The courtroom showdown. The courtroom in downtown San Francisco was packed. Journalists, legal experts, and curious onlookers had filled every available seat, eager to witness the latest legal scuffle involving the tech mogul. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and a host of other futuristic ventures, had been called to court over a high-profile lawsuit regarding one of his more controversial statements on social media. Some claimed it was misleading, others argued it was simply Elon being Elon. But the opposition's attorneys were determined to prove that his words had real consequences, financial ones. At the bench sat Judge Robert Caldwell, a seasoned legal expert known for his sharp wit and no-nonsense attitude. He had presided over cases involving Fortune 500 companies, high-profile fraud, and government corruption. But never had he dealt with someone quite like Elon Musk. As Musk took the stand, dressed in his usual no-tie look, a smirk on his face, there was a quiet buzz of anticipation. The opposing lawyer, a stern-looking man named Richard Grayson, wasted no time. "Mr. Musk, do you consider yourself an expert in securities law?" Musk leaned forward slightly, resting his chin on his hand. "I consider myself an expert in a lot of things," he replied, a hint of amusement in his voice. Judge Caldwell chuckled, shaking his head. "Let's try to keep things serious, Mr. Musk." Musk raised an eyebrow. "I am serious, Your Honor. Would you like a list?" Laughter rippled through the courtroom. Even the judge cracked a smile. The turning point Grayson, clearly irritated, pushed forward. "Mr. Musk, when you tweeted about taking Tesla private at $420 per share, did you have a concrete funding agreement in place?" Musk shrugged. "Define concrete." Judge Caldwell sighed. "Mr. Musk, this isn't a philosophy debate." Musk smiled. "But it is a legal one, Your Honor. And legal definitions matter." Grayson scoffed. "The SEC certainly thinks you misled investors." Musk tilted his head. "The SEC also thought we couldn't make a profitable electric car. How's that going?" More laughter. Even the judge couldn't suppress a grin. But then, in a moment that no one saw coming, Musk turned the tables. "Elon's legal genius, Your Honor," Musk said, suddenly serious. "The case against me hinges on whether my statement was legally binding or not. If you examine SEC regulations, you'll find that intent, material effect, and context all play key roles in determining whether a statement is misleading." Grayson tried to interject, but Musk continued. "In previous cases, the SEC has ruled that forward-looking statements based on reasonable expectations are not considered deceptive. My tweet was an expression of intent based on ongoing negotiations. At no point did I claim a finalized agreement. Investors are expected to understand market risks, including speculative statements by CEOs." Judge Caldwell leaned forward, his expression shifting. Musk wasn't just spouting tech jargon. He was laying out a solid legal argument. "And let's talk about precedent," Musk added. "The SEC versus Mark Cuban case established that mere discussions or possibilities do not constitute fraud. And in SEC versus Goldman Sachs, the court ruled that general statements of intent do not mislead sophisticated investors." The courtroom was silent. Even Grayson looked stunned. Musk wasn't just defending himself, he was educating the court. Judge Caldwell nodded slowly. "That's an interesting argument, Mr. Musk." Musk grinned. "I do my homework, Your Honor." The aftermath. By the end of the hearing, it was clear that the prosecution's case had been shaken. While the lawsuit wouldn't be thrown out immediately, the judge had to admit that Musk had raised significant doubts. As the hearing adjourned, reporters swarmed outside the courthouse, eager for statements. Judge Caldwell's reflection later that evening. Judge Caldwell sat in his chambers, reading over the transcripts of the hearing, still wrestling with Musk's unexpected legal acumen. Caldwell had presided over countless cases, from Wall Street titans to Silicon Valley moguls. But nothing in his career had prepared him for the sheer intellectual agility Musk had displayed in court that day. The judge was no stranger to controversy. In fact, he had often been known for his stern and sometimes sarcastic approach to high-profile cases. But something about Musk's calm, confident demeanor and methodical breakdown of the legal points had left him genuinely impressed. It wasn't just about the law, Caldwell murmured to himself, rubbing his temples. It was about the man himself. The way he thinks, the way he adapts. As he pondered further, Caldwell realized something that struck him deeply. Musk wasn't just an innovator in technology. He was an innovator in legal strategy too. He had become a master of navigating the complexity of both corporate warfare and the law, using every tool at his disposal. Musk had turned his courtroom appearance into a lesson, one that had made even the most seasoned legal minds reconsider their assumptions. The next moves a few weeks after the hearing, the case was still far from over. Musk's legal team had filed a comprehensive motion to dismiss the case, citing legal precedents, the nature of Musk's public statements, and the distinction between speculative comments and fraud. Grayson, still reeling from the courtroom defeat, wasn't about to give up without a fight. But even he had to acknowledge the force of Musk's arguments. The legal community, too, had taken notice. A few prominent lawyers on Twitter began to muse about Musk's future in law. One even tweeted, "Elon Musk, tech CEO, SpaceX visionary, and now, an unlikely legal genius? I wouldn't be surprised if he started his own firm." By this point, Musk was enjoying the attention, even while staying focused on the task at hand. He tweeted a picture of himself in his usual Tesla hoodie with the caption, "It's all fun and games until someone brings up case law." The case's final twist: as the case slowly worked its way through the system, something unexpected happened. New evidence came to light. A former Tesla employee, who had been involved in the negotiations that led to Musk's tweet about taking the company private, came forward with an affidavit. The affidavit confirmed that Musk had indeed been in serious talks with potential investors at the time and had real intentions of moving forward with the deal, but negotiations fell through at the last minute due to unforeseen financial hurdles. With this new evidence, the case took an interesting turn. Musk's statement about taking Tesla private at $420 per share wasn't as far-fetched or speculative as initially thought. Musk's legal team, having built on the argument that his statement was based on real ongoing talks, now had additional confirmation that the tweet had been rooted in actual attempts to take action. It was a game changer. The court's ruling months later, Judge Caldwell finally made his ruling. The case was dismissed. The judge acknowledged that while Musk's tweet had been ambitious and, perhaps, poorly worded, there was no intent to deceive. He also noted that the new evidence, combined with Musk's defense, had cast doubt on the notion that investors had been misled. In his final statement, Judge Caldwell said, "While this case raised important questions about the intersection of social media and securities law, it has also highlighted something crucial: context and intent matter. And in this case, the evidence did not support the claim that Mr. Musk misled investors." Musk's victory and legacy. As the case came to an end, the legal world had shifted. While Elon Musk remained focused on his space missions and electric cars, his victory in court had left an indelible mark on the way future corporate litigation would be viewed. He had proven that, even when faced with a seemingly impossible challenge, he could navigate the legal maze with the same brilliance he applied to engineering. Even Judge Caldwell, who had been initially skeptical, now regarded Musk with a new level of respect. The two would occasionally cross paths in subsequent years, whether in court or at industry events, and the judge would always joke, "I've been trying to keep up with Musk, but I'm just an old lawman at the end of the day." But in the back of his mind, Caldwell knew the truth. Elon Musk wasn't just changing the world of technology, he was changing the world of law as well. The aftermath, a new era of legal strategy. As the dust settled from the case, Elon Musk's courtroom victory didn't just fade away. It became a cultural moment. The world was now keenly aware of Musk's ability to outthink his opponents, not only in the realm of technology, but in the courts as well. His legal strategy had turned a seemingly disastrous situation into a demonstration of intellectual fortitude and the ability to maneuver through complex legal landscapes with ease. Musk's victory became the subject of countless discussions in legal circles, business seminars, and even university law courses. Professors began to point to his defense as a prime example of how CEOs could strategically protect their interests without relying on traditional tactics. It wasn't just about the technology or the financial backing. It was about understanding the law itself and using it as a tool to advance one's position. A few months after the case ended, Musk's legal team hosted a seminar. The topic? Disrupting Legal Precedents, a CEO's Guide to Legal Strategy. While the idea of a CEO hosting such a seminar would have been unthinkable years before, it was a natural extension of Musk's approach to everything he did. The seminar sold out in record time. Musk himself made a rare appearance at the event. When asked about the case and his unexpected legal savvy, he simply grinned and said, "The law is like coding. It's all about finding the right algorithm to solve the problem. Once you understand the language, you can work with it. You just have to know which variables to plug in." A legacy that lingers. Judge Caldwell, watching all of this unfold from a distance, found himself reflecting often on that historic day in court. He had seen many notable figures and been part of landmark rulings, but nothing had quite prepared him for the trail Musk had blazed. In the quiet moments of his retirement years, Caldwell would tell his colleagues, "I had front row seats to witness a new era, not just for technology, but for law itself. And it all began in my courtroom." Musk, ever the forward thinker, didn't rest on his laurels. He continued to push the boundaries of technology, from Mars-bound rockets to cutting-edge AI innovations. But now, there was an added layer to his legacy, the man who had changed the game in more ways than one. In a few years, when the next wave of tech moguls arrived, they wouldn't just be preparing their businesses for world domination. They'd be studying how to navigate the legal system just like Musk had. Full circle, Musk and Caldwell meet again as time passed. Musk's reputation grew, as did his influence. A decade after the trial, a rare event occurred. Judge Caldwell and Elon Musk met once again. It wasn't in the courtroom this time, but at a charity gala hosted by Musk's organization, which aimed to bring together innovators in law, science, and technology. Musk, ever the enigma, approached Caldwell with a handshake and a genuine smile. "You know, Judge," he said, "you might have been the first one to call me out in court, but you're also the first one who saw the bigger picture." Caldwell chuckled and shook his head. "And you were the first one to ever make me seriously rethink how the law and business interact. You'll always have that." The two shared a moment of mutual respect, one forged through a courtroom battle that neither had expected to change their lives so profoundly. As the evening went on, Musk took the stage to give a keynote address. With his typical blend of humor and insight, he spoke to an audience that spanned the worlds of law, business, and tech. "And remember," he said with a twinkle in his eye, "whether you're launching rockets or launching a lawsuit, keep your eyes on the stars, but never forget to read the fine print." The crowd erupted in applause, and Judge Caldwell, sitting in the front row, couldn't help but smile. Maybe Musk hadn't just changed the future of technology, he had changed the future of law, too. And that was how Elon Musk, once mocked for his boldness and often misunderstood, became a legend not only in Silicon Valley but in the world of law and beyond.